$50. That is where this starts. Not $500, not $1,000. $50 in physical cash, divided into envelopes, allocated with intention, and tracked honestly across one full week of real life with real expenses and real temptation pulling at every allocated dollar from the moment the envelopes were sealed. The viral cash stuffing challenges of 2026 have exploded across every platform for a reason that has nothing to do with the dollar amounts involved. They work, not because $50 transforms a financial life overnight, but because the physical and visual nature of cash stuffing changes the psychological relationship between a person and their money in a way that no budgeting app, no spreadsheet, and no digital savings tracker has ever consistently replicated at scale for ordinary people managing ordinary income. Let us talk about what the challenge actually is before we get into what happened when it was tested for real. The viral 2026 Cash Stuffing Challenge for beginners operates on a weekly target of between $30 and $50, allocated across a set of physical envelopes at the beginning of each week. The envelopes are labeled with specific spending category: groceries, transport, personal care, entertainment, emergency saving. The amounts assigned to each envelope are decided before any spending happens, before the week begins, before any purchase presents itself and demands a decision under conditions of variable willpower and changing emotional states. The money goes into the envelopes. The envelopes go into a wallet or a cash envelope binder. And from that moment forward, every spending decision of the week is made not by checking a phone or a banking app, but by physically opening an ET envelope, counting what is inside, and making a conscious choice about whether the purchase in front of you is worth the visible reduction in what remains available for the rest of the week. That visibility is everything. That is the entire mechanism. The digital alternative removes the visceral reality of money leaving your hand. Tap to pay, swipe, click to confirm. The money moves, but you do not feel it move. It does not feel like anything at all. Cash feels like something. Taking a $10 note from a grocery envelope and handing it to a cashier feels different from tapping a card. The physical exchange creates a cognitive registration of the transaction that digital payment entirely bypasses. Research published in 2026 on payment psychology confirmed what many people who switched to cash had already observed personally. Cash spending activates the insula, the butte, part of the brain associated with pain processing. Paying cash for things literally feels slightly uncomfortable in a way that promotes more careful spending decisions. This is not a bug in the cash stuffing system. This is the most important feature it possesses. The discomfort is doing the work. Now let us talk about the week of actual testing. Sunday evening, the $50 allocation was divided across 5 envelopes. Groceries received $20. Transport received $10. Personal care received $5. Entertainment received $5. Emergency savings received $10. That is the full $50 weekly allocation laid out in physical cash across 5 labeled envelopes before a single dollar of it was spent. Monday arrived, first test of the week. A coffee shop appeared between the parking spot and the destination. The ENUB entertainment envelope was open, $5 total. A coffee would have taken 3 of those $5. That meant $2 remaining for entertainment for the rest of the week. The coffee was not purchased, not because of a rigid rule, because the physical reality of the envelope made the trade-off undeniably visible in a way that a glance at a banking app balance never achieved. Tuesday brought the grocery shop. The readier $20 envelope was opened at the checkout. $19.40 total on the belt. The envelope covered 60 cents returned to the envelope for later in the week. That 60 cents felt like a small win, a real and tangible small win that registered emotionally in a way that a green number on a budgeting app simply does not produce with the same intensity or consistency. Wednesday was the hardest day of the week. A sale notification arrived on the phone, an item genuinely needed and genuinely discounted. Not in any envelope, not allocated for the week. The item was added to a list for the following week's allocation, not purchased, not ignored, deferred deliberately, documented for the next Sunday envelope planning session. This is where the cash stuffing system demonstrates its most powerful secondary benefit. It does not just control current week spending. It creates a structured pipeline for future spending decisions that removes impulsiveness from the equation entirely by introducing a mandatory 1-week minimum waiting period for anything not already in an envelope. Thursday and Friday produced no envelope surprises. Transport costs came in under the $10 allocation. $3.20 remained in the transport envelope at the end of Friday. That $3.20 rolled forward into next week's allocation rather than dissolving into the general spending pool the way digital banking surplus consistently does. Saturday closed the week. Every envelope was opened and counted on the kitchen table. Groceries had 40 cents remaining. Transport had $3.20. Personal care had $2.50. Entertainment had $2. Emergency savings envelope was full and untouched at $10. Total remaining across all envelopes at the end of a full 7-day week was $18.10 of the original $50 allocation. $18 and $10 from the emergency savings envelope combined to produce $28.10 available to roll into next week's system as a starting surplus. The viral 2026 cash stuffing challenge works for one reason: it makes money real again.